Everyone has a different definition in terms of how they feel about being an Acjachemen. My particular feeling is I'm the last of 9 members of the family, and historically our family has been here since 1776, and we helped build the mission. So there's a tremendous amount of pride as far as I am concerned, and being the last member of the family makes it even extra prideful for me. Well, Clarence was my brother. There were 8 members in our family. Clarence was the second of the oldest of the family, and I was the junior. I was the last of 8. So there was a real big span in terms of age was concerned, and he was really my father figure. And, but what impressed me most about Clarence was he was really, I'm not going to say uneducated, but finished high school, 9th grade only. However, he became just a voracious reader, fantastic writer, and had the ability to speak anywhere, it didn't matter, and extremely verbal, and always had a lot of questions to ask, and you couldn't have asked for a better person to be the representative of our particular tribe. And so he was very interested in the historical part of the tribe, and he just jumped right in and just read as much as he could, spoke to a lot of people, toured a lot of Southern California, went to Paula, where we have many relatives there, got a lot of their input, a lot of their stories, and he knew everybody in San Juan Capistrano, extremely well liked by the Indian community. And I'm trying to think of some authors who will take one side of the story and say that the Spaniards were perhaps the worst thing that happened to the Acjachemen here in San Juan Capistrano, or in this territory. Others say it was the best thing because they brought the church. Well, depends on who you talk to as far as the Acjachemen are concerned. It depends on who you talk to. They have different opinions about the church, about the Spaniards. And if you really follow the history of the Spaniards when they first landed in San Diego and eventually ended up north, it is not a happy ending for a lot of the Indians. My role is to know more of the tradition and the history of the tribe so that the tribal members, and there are many who really do not know their history, I feel that it's incumbent upon me to teach them about the history. But I think the main factor is knowing your history, knowing the language as much as you can. There is sort of a drive to learn the language, and it's very difficult to relearn a language. So there are some in our particular tribe today that get together and they do practice the language. Some will go to the San Diego Reservation, etc., Paula, and try to pick up some words there. We do have the dictionary, and interesting enough that our particular language was lost, and my youngest sister learned and collected the Acjachemen language and made a dictionary, and it was the only dictionary of the Acjachemen language for many, many years. And it wasn't until, when I say currently, I'm saying probably in the last 10 years or so, one of our local Indians was in Washington, D.C. and found a full-fledged dictionary of our particular language. But prior to that, our sister had collected all those words. Now, I forget how many words she had, and she was only 12 years old. I was a tour guide for about 10 years, and I enjoyed that, which gave me the opportunity to in all the tours that I used to have, we had about 10 to 20 people at a time. I used to like to have them about 15 and have a bit of control of it. And it gave me the opportunity to tell them about the Mission Capistrano and the Juaneño Indians from my perspective. And they enjoyed it when they found out that, yes, I wasn't a Acjachemen and the other tour guides were not. So, and they thought that was a plus. You know, when you're going to school, you're taking a class in history, oftentimes the instructor keeps it within certain parameters. But if you take a history class, American history class in Europe, the perspective just broadens and their point of view is totally different. So it depends on who you talk to within a particular tribe, and oftentimes if you are surrounded just by a Acjachemen and a small group of Acjachemen people, I think you get a better idea of how the Acjachemen feels about the mission, about San Juan Capistrano, about the population currently and of the past, and what they look for in the future.